Neal at the 45 to the 50. Charlie Waters out of bounds at the 41 of Dallas.
Hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up, or possibly leave a comment below, or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But at least anyway, thank you just so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, here we go, guys. Week 16, game 15. Giants at the Eagles. Giants, nothing left to fight for but pride. And the Eagles got a playoff berth. They're fighting for their lives for the playoffs. So it's a big game for the Eagles. Big game in Philly. You know, obviously we beat them, you know, a couple weeks ago at home. And the injury report came out, so I think this is the 15th time this year. The Giants have more injuries than their opponent, and in many cases they have far more injuries than their opponent. And nothing exemplifies that more than this injury report we have here. All right, let me just go over here. Now, Ben Bredesen, his ankle, he's out. Gary Brightwell, he's got a problem with his neck. He's out. Colin Johnson, the hamstring, he's out. Now, we haven't had a hamstring problem in a little while, so it's nice to see the hamstring come back, because, you know, there was nothing but hamstrings kind of like in the beginning of the year, and they just kind of seem to fade away after a little while. So it's good to have somebody with a hamstring problem, you know, and so that's what's keeping Colin Johnson out of the game. Austin Johnson, with his foot. Kadarius Toney with his oblique. Oshane Ximines, now, you know, he's ramping up from COVID, but I mean, he's been a healthy scratch a bunch of times, so I don't even know if he'll even want to play him. He might be one of the inactives. I think, and J.R. Reed, he's a COVID ramp up too. Those guys are all questionable. So we'll have to wait and see. But as I said, with Oshane Ximines, he's been a healthy scratch. So be interesting to see if he even winds up suiting up. Cam Brown on the bright side. There is a little bit of bright side here. Cam Brown and Aaron Robinson are activated from the reserve COVID list. So that's good, because Cam's extremely good on special teams. And with Aaron Robinson, we need all the help we can get in the secondary. So good to see those guys back there. Danny Shelton and Nate Solder are out. They got put on the reserve COVID list, so they won't be playing. Guys activated from the practice squad. Yes. Darquez Denard, defensive back. David Moa, a defensive tackle. David Sills, the wide receiver. And Isaiah Wilson. Yeah, activated from the practice squad. Cool. Very, very cool. I guess because maybe Nate Solder will be out. That's why Isaiah Wilson is activated. I mean, Bredesen won't be in there either. You know what I mean? So maybe Wilson might get in there a little something. That would be nice. Even a few plays, 5-10 plays. To play, you want to go up against the best. And the Eagles, their defensive front and their offensive line are always usually very, very good. So, I mean, it would be a very good, a nice start to his career if Isaiah Wilson could get in there and get some reps against the Philadelphia Eagles defensive front. Not saying he's going to do much of anything, but it would be nice to see him get some reps, see what he can do, and maybe, work from there. Maybe have him on the roster next year. Maybe we can get him in, and that would be fantastic. The dude is huge. He's huge. So it's looking like Matt Peart's going to start. All right, so we'll have Andrew Thomas and we'll have Matt Peart. All right, so let's see what Mr. Peart does. Now, as far as the Eagles go, okay, so we have all that activity with the Giants, questionable, COVID, guys out, this, that, and the other thing. So, of course, the Eagles played just 5 days ago. So, I mean, of course, they've got to have guys, right? Nope. I don't see one person. Not one person. Not nobody even has a cold. Simply amazing. Absolutely simply amazing, isn't it? Another week the Giants have, 3, 4, 5 guys out, guys on COVID, bunch of guys questionable, this, that, and the other thing, and the other team, absolutely nothing. Absolutely amazing, isn't it? Every game so far this year, the Giants have had more injuries than the other team, and in many cases, like this one, they've far more injuries. Now we're going to have Jake Fromm. He's going to be starting. Got that to look forward to. Just to see what he can wind up doing. Now his maybe he was 6 out of 12 against the Cowboys to the 2-minute drive. He led us all the way down the field, which was did a good job. He first one he hit Sterling Shepard. Hit Sterling Shepard again. He hit Saquon. I think he hit Kenny Golladay twice. He had a nice one to Kenny Golladay. They got us down around the 50-yard line. A nice touch pass to the outside. Kenny Golladay got it, went out of bounds, and he hit Kenny down the sideline. And kind of the ball. He just here you go, big guy, go up and get it. He did. He even got a pass completion to Darius Slayton. I think Sterling Shepard dropped the ball. It was a pass he could have caught, and he dropped it. He did get sacked once, but a lot of it was like just a 2-minute drive. It was like Dallas was just trying to, let him complete it, maybe catch it, keep him in bounds, keep the clock running. But you'll notice when the Giants got down, he was 6 out of 12. Basically, the last 4 passes he threw were incomplete. So going into the red zone, he was 6 out of 8. One of those passes, Sterling Shepard dropped. So he could have been 7 out of 8. But you'll notice when he got down, in the red zone there, things got a little tight. He threw 2 balls out of the end zone because the guys were being covered. So he just threw the ball out of harm's way. Then he threw 2 passes that I believe was to Farrah Cooper. One, he was covered very well. There really wasn't much of a chance of getting the ball in there. And then the last play, Dallas sent everybody in the kitchen sink, and Fromm had to throw the ball really, really fast, and he threw it, I think it was in the direction of Farrah Cooper once again, but it was incomplete. So, he got us down the field, but, when things started getting a little tight and, and he had a bunch of pressure coming on him, he got rid of the ball, which was good. He threw the ball away a couple times, which was good. He's accurate. He throws a nice ball, and he's accurate. He's got that going for him, but he doesn't have much experience, and he'll be tested against the Eagles. He will be tested. Now the Giants are going to Lincoln Financial Field. We don't play there very well. They haven't won there since 2013. They've had chances in the past, obviously, like last year. Daniel Jones throws a nice pass. Evan Ingram, the ball's right here. Evan Ingram just catches it, boom, puts it away, gets tackled inbounds, the clock just runs out, Giants win, and Giants go to the playoff. But, good old, thank you, Evan Ingram. But the Giants have had chances to win there, but, we haven't won there since 2013, so the Giants haven't swept the Eagles since 2007. Long time. Giants won won the first game. We got a third-string quarterback in there, so chances are if the Eagles had a third-string quarterback in there, and things might be a little bit different. But it's not going to be all sunshine and roses. I can tell you that. Now, if Fromm starts for the Giants, this will be the first time since 1992, 29 years. All right, that the Giants have had 3 starting quarterbacks in a season. Now, obviously, with Daniel Jones, Nick Glennon, and Jake Fromm. Back in 1992, we had Phil Simms. He started, and then he did something with his elbow, and he was out all season. And then Hostetler took his spot, and then he got a concussion. And then we had Kent Graham come in there and play, I think, one game against the Cowboys. We got killed because the Cowboys that time were starting to really, really, really be good. That was their first year they won the Super Bowl, was in 1992. So when now the Eagles have the ball, all right, the last time, especially when we played them, they ran the ball 33 times, 208 yards against us. All right. Then the Eagles, their next game against the Jets, they ran the ball 41 times, 185 yards. Last game against the Washington football team, they ran the ball 41 times, 238 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that's against a good Washington football team defense. So, Eagles are good running the ball. It's going to be tough stopping the run game. We're not very good against the run. It's going to be very tough. Sanders, their one running back, is averaging 5.5 yards per carry. Howard, their other running back, is averaging 5.2 yards per carry. Boston Scott, who usually always seems to kill the Giants, he's averaging 4.7 yards per carry. Jalen Hurts has 733 rushing yards, 5.6 yards per carry. He has 10 rushing touchdowns, all by himself. So it's going to be really, really difficult. What you want to try to do is have Jalen Hurts beat us with his arm. Now, I don't know exactly what, we're going to wind up, Patrick Graham's going to wind up dialing up. I don't know if we're going to try to put more guys in the box to make Jalen start throwing the ball. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But the last time when we played them, the Giants did, Giants basically, I don't want to say gave up the run, but, I mean, they did very good against the pass. I mean, Jalen Hurts was only 14 out of 31 for 129 yards. That's all he had. He had no touchdowns, and he had those 3 costly interceptions. He almost led us back, let the Eagles back to a touchdown. His pass with 10, 20 seconds left to go, it was dropped at like the 1 yard line, or the Eagles might have won that game. But their receiver dropped a pass, which possibly, they could have ran up to the line of scrimmage and maybe tried to run a play or spike the ball or something, or whatever, and then they might have scored and they might have won. But I look at it like, well, what Evan Ingram did last year, he dropped the pass. That cost us a victory. Well, their receiver dropped the pass. So that's just, it is what it is. That's like the football gods being on the Giants side for once. But you want to try to make Jalen Hurts wind up beating you with his arm. He's only completing 61% of his passes. He has 14 touchdowns, and he has 9 interceptions. All right. I sort of want to say his on-target percentage ranks near the bottom. He's number 29. So he doesn't throw the most accurate pass. He's one of the ones he has to beat you running the ball. And it's like, you can either pay minimal attention to the running game and just let them run up and down the field, but you'll be kind of eliminate their passing game, or if or if you're going to stop the run, you're going to try to make Jalen beat you with his arm. So as I said, it's going to be interesting to say. It's a chess match, interesting to say what Patrick Graham winds up dialing up. Now, last game, the Giants did a very good job at shutting down the Eagles receivers. Dallas Goedert, who's, very good. I mean, he had a phenomenal game against the Washington football team. Very, very good. He only had 1 reception against the Giants. DeVonta Smith, right? Let's not forget him. He had a whopping 2 receptions. Jalen Reagor, he had a whopping 2 receptions. So, they didn't beat us at all with their passing game. So the Giants, did a very, very good job. And you want to think, you consider that, they held the Eagles over a little over 300 yards of offense. But the Giants' offense, we only had like 265 yards of total offense. So our offense was not very good at all in that game. Eagles are number 1, with their running game in all of NFL. 2,318 rushing yards. They had 21 rushing TDs. They average over 5 yards a carry. It's going to be very, very difficult for the Giants to stop. The defense is number 26. They've given up 1,750 rushing yards. They've given up only 11 touchdowns, but they give up 4.4 yards per carry, which isn't it's like in the middle of the pack. Okay, but I said they're going to have a very, very difficult time there. The Eagles' offense with Lane Johnson and Kelsey, Goddard is a very good blocking tight end. They're very, very good. The blocking scheme is very good. Jalen Hurts does a great job, of running the ball, and so it's just and they got like a 3-headed monster with the running backs in there, and they all do very good against the Giants. it's going to be certainly going to be a challenge. Now on offense, the Giants just need to do a very good job protecting Jake Fromm. All right, the Eagles only have 23 sacks. All right, and their defense only has 13 takeaways so far this year. They have 9 interceptions and they only have 4 fumble recoveries. So they're averaging like less than 1 takeaway per game. So, and they don't get a lot of they don't get a lot of sacks. So, their front's always very good. Their offensive line will always be very good, and their defensive front is very, very good. So, the Giants, the last time we tried to run, it's not like we can just try to establish the run and keep Jake Fromm and get him, comfortable with the passing, because the Eagles are one of like 5 or 6 teams. Their defense is only giving up in the entire NFL. There's only 5 or 6 teams that give up less than 4 yards per carry, and the Eagles are on one of them. They've given up only 3.9 yards per carry. The last time we played them, the Giants had a whopping 27 carries for 70 yards. Saquon averaged 3.1 yards per carry. Daniel Jones was 3.3 yards per carry, and Devontae Booker was only 3.3 yards per carry. So we did not do a very good job at all running the ball. And last time we did have Daniel Jones throwing the ball. So now we have basically a third-string quarterback in there, And if we can't establish any type of a run, we can be in a lot of trouble. I don't know if Jake Fromm's going to be able to stand back there and just try to dink and dunk our way down the field, but we're going to somehow, some way, we're going to need to try to establish some type of a running game. So they have the work there. Giants going to really have their work cut out for them. Fromm will have to make some quick, decisive decisions, not hold on to the ball. He throws an accurate ball. A catchable ball. He seems to, in the last game, he seemed to make some good quick decisions. He's going to need to do that. He can't hold on to the ball too long. It's going to be a very tough game. The Giants can't beat themselves once again. Can't get a lot of stupid penalties. They can't beat themselves. Make the Eagles beat you. Don't be throwing, as I said, interceptions. No fumbles. No standing in the pocket, getting sacked. Ball gets knocked out, fumbled, picked up, run back for a touchdown. No block punt. None of that stuff. Make the Eagles beat you. The Eagles are a better team, especially at this particular point in time. They're doing better than the Giants are. Giants are not as good as the Eagles are. Giants have obviously more injuries. As I said, the Giants basically have like a third-string quarterback in there who had one drive, last week. Looked pretty decent, but that's not a lot of experience. Right? Jalen Hurts has got far more experience. The Eagles are going to be home. There'll be some Giant fans there, obviously, but the Eagles are going to be home. The Eagles run the ball really, really well, and it's not going to be easy for the Giants at all. So the Giants, they don't wind up winning. As I said, it's just one of those games. It's like, let's just hope and pray. I mean, if the Giants, because last week the Giants lost, obviously to the Cowboys. But the Giants, with their turnovers, basically, with Mike Leonard, the interceptions, the Saquon Barkley fumble and all, I can't, Dallas was the better team. But, the Giants, with their turnovers, kind of gave the Cowboys some points. Also, the Giants, with their turnovers, also took points away, which is something, if they're going to try to beat the Eagles, that's something that they can't wind up doing. So it's going to be a tough game. Maybe the Giants can go out there and play with some pride and keep it close. Who knows? On any given Sunday, maybe they can even wind up pulling out a win. But I don't see it happen. I'm pulling for the Giants, but I just don't see it happening. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!